Saturday. On the altar are some reminders of what has come before. On Palm Sunday, less than a week ago, there was the victory, the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem, where the crowds were cheering and laying palm branches before him on the ground and cloaks. But it's Saturday now, and the palm branches have withered and dried. Then there was Maundy Thursday, Holy Thursday. It was a time when Jesus took a simple pitcher and washed his disciples' feet, something that no one except the lowliest of low should do for others. And yet he set an example for his disciples and for us by washing the feet. There was the supper, the Seder Passover meal, that they gathered around the table, not knowing that this would be their last time gathered around a table for a Passover meal such as this. It was at this meal that he lifted the bread and he broke it and he said, "This is my body broken for you." And he took the cup of wine, the third cup, which represents in Hebrew culture that it is the cup of redemption. And he took that cup and gave thanks, and he said, "This is my blood of the new covenant poured out for you." Of course, the disciples had no idea what that really meant, other than this was not the way the liturgy was supposed to go. Their expectations were being constantly shifted, and I'm sure there was some confusion and some wonder. And then after the meal, as Judas had left, he had already betrayed Jesus, and they go out to the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus prays, "Father, if it be your will, take this cup away from me. But not my will, but yours be done." The disciples couldn't stay awake. They kept falling asleep. We have to be careful that we don't fall asleep during this time either. And then there was the arrest and the trial, and ultimately the crucifixion. A ghastly death, a death of pain and suffering that we know had a purpose to it. But the disciples were fearful. Their world had been turned upside down and they didn't know what was going to happen. Here was this leader, this man they had walked with for 3 years, and now he's been crucified. But again, that was Friday, and today is Saturday. Saturday, Max Lucado calls a day of silence. It was a day when it seemed as though God wasn't present. I would say it's also a day of mourning, of extreme grief, of confusion and bewilderment. Saturday, a day when so much has already happened and they don't know what is ahead. There's so many parallels to our journey at this time in this space, as we are in a Saturday place with COVID-19. Some of us and some of our loved ones or friends or colleagues may be in a place where they have received the bad news that they are COVID-19 positive. There may be those who are in their homes as we self-isolate and wondering what is happening next. My normal is no longer normal. I can't go to work. I don't know what my schedule is going to be. Will things return to the way they were? Saturday. The disciples had no idea what was going to happen. They were filled with grief and fear. They were in hiding, and all they could do was wait. It was the already but not yet. We know that Jesus was going to be resurrected. We know that the women were going to go on Sunday morning to the tomb and find that it was empty. But on Saturday, no one knew that. Just as right now, in the midst of a crisis, none of us know what tomorrow will look like. But we do know. We can know. We can hold on to our faith that God is with us, that He doesn't leave us or abandon us. In fact, He loved us so much that Jesus died on a cross for us so that we could be restored in relationship with God. Because apart from the sacrifice of Jesus for our sin, we're not able. There's too much separation. We can't do it on our own. Saturday. It's a day in between, and if we're honest, no one enjoys being in a place of uncertainty. It's a hard place to be in. Most years, many of us are tempted that we want to go from that victory of Palm Sunday, the triumphal entry, and then we want to move right quick to Easter, to the resurrection and the new hope and the new life, the new beginnings. While we're self-isolating and social distancing, many of us are eager to push on, to get back to what was normal before. We're outside of our comfort zone, and everything has been turned upside down. But I would challenge each one of us to sit and reflect, to be present in the unknown, to name it, and to use it as a time of reflection, of assessment of what has come before. What are our dreams and our hopes? What are maybe a shifting of priorities? Is there something that we need to turn upside down as we walk through these days ahead? May we not rush from Palm Sunday, skipping the pain and the suffering of Maundy, Thursday, and Good Friday, and jumping to Easter. We know that it was done, and we can rejoice in that. But it can also be a time where we say, I don't know. I know I'm not in control. But God, I choose to look to you, the author and perfecter of my faith. I will be still and know that you are God, even in this quiet, unknown, uncomfortable place of Saturday, knowing that you are behind me, you are with me, and you will be ahead of me in the future. God bless you on this Saturday and always.